Someone shot Luis Garcia in February of last year as he was sitting in his car outside of East High School. A lawsuit recently filed by his family claims Denver Public Schools failed to keep students safe by removing school resource officers. The lawsuit also says Luis's family knows who killed him, even though no one has been charged. 9 News legal expert Whitney Traylor joins us now. So first, what is the family suing for?
Well, they're actually suing for wrongful death. And so here what they can ask for is money. They can ask for change in policy, things like that. And that's really a difficult issue for the lawyer to go to a jury and say, hey, we can't go back in time. We can't change the history. So all we can do is compensate these folks. But really that's going to be the primary damages is monetary compensation.
And then on top of it, can they make changes within the school when it comes to school resource officers and things like that in the future?
Yeah, they for sure can. And that's part of, most cases settle. And so this case may settle, it may get dismissed, it may ultimately go to trial. But if they do ultimately settle, I think that will be one of the issues that they push for is more school resource officers and things like that. Although after this shooting, and then there was a shooting, I think a month later at East High School, they actually reinstated the school resource, the SROs, that the board had voted to remove prior to the shooting.
Yeah, is this lawsuit an opportunity to find answers for this family?
Yes, I really think it is, and I've been reading these articles. I read the complaint, and it doesn't add up in the sense that the family believes they know who did the shooting. They've named this individual juvenile. They used a pseudonym, and his mother. But DPS, the Denver Police Department, I think, found these folks but didn't arrest them related to this charge. So one of the benefits of a lawsuit, one of the main points of a civil lawsuit is you go through the discovery process. And in that process, you're able to gather information, take depositions, do interrogatories. So you get all this information. So right now, the family, I know I read the articles, they're still making a plea for information if anybody has any information. So they will get some information from this lawsuit in terms of the school's policy, the reasons they made the changes, what the school board did. All of that will come to light, and that hopefully will give them some not sense of closure, but a better feeling just knowing, hey, we know what happened and where there might have been negligence.
Right, as if the loss of Luis isn't enough.
Yes.
They also feel like they've been left in the dark with a lot of things. Yeah. Who is being sued specifically in this lawsuit? Is it DPS? Right,
so DPS is being sued, East High School is being sued, the current and former board members are being sued, and then this individual juvenile and his mother are, and they're not being identified because he's a juvenile. So all of these folks are being sued, and what's interesting is under the Governmental Immunity Act, the school, the board, all of these folks have immunity. But in Colorado, we passed several years ago the Claire Davis Act, which actually allows plaintiffs to get over that governmental immunity. So here, and the real issue is, did the school exercise reasonable care, and was it reasonably foreseeable that something like this would happen if they didn't exercise that care? So it's still kind of based on this negligence idea. Did the school have a duty, which it absolutely did? Did it breach its duty in keeping Luis Garcia safe? And the family will argue, yeah, with the SROs, this wouldn't have happened. Now, the school is going to argue, well, it's not reasonably foreseeable because even if we had an SRO, right, this happened outside of the school.
Right. In the parking lot.
In the parking lot, they might argue that, hey, it wouldn't have made a difference. And that's really going to be up to the jury to say, hey, was it reasonably foreseeable that removing the SROs would lead to this type of gun violence?
Lastly, no charges in this shooting have been filed yet. Does that surprise you at all?
Well, it does surprise me, and this happened a year and a half ago, and the family says, hey, we know who did this. And apparently, and this part is a little unclear to me, all the folks behind the scenes were sending me information this morning that the family believes they know who did it. I guess there were 2 individuals arrested after the shooting, I believe in the stolen car, but they weren't charged with this. It was for something unrelated. And as I understand it, I think Luis Garcia's family believes those were the individuals responsible, and that's who they've sued in this civil lawsuit. Why they weren't charged, what evidence the law enforcement has or doesn't have, that's really unclear. Of course, there's no statute of limitations on murder, so this could go forward at any point.
Hence the reason why the family is bringing this lawsuit forward. They're like, we just want more answers. We've really been left in the dark about things. And this was just filed last week, so very fresh. And we'll see where it goes from here, as always.
The school hasn't responded yet. Their answer's not due yet, so we're just going based on the complaint. So we'll definitely be following this up.
All right, as always, Whitney, thank you so much. Chris?